Affleck's addiction to alcohol sent him to rehab for the third time and put a strain on his personal life. In 2018, he was seen in this photo being driven to a treatment facility by his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. The 47-year-old calls his divorce from the actress, quote, "the biggest regret of my life."
It's a wedding, babe. He's in a wedding. It's a wedding. He's not going to give up his wedding.
Whose wedding?
Benny. It's a wedding he's in.
There was a solid decade where there were 5 or 6 cars minimum and easily up to 15 or 20 on the weekends outside of my house at all times. And looking back on that, I really feel the stress of it. I could cry talking about it.
The Bennifer saga has taken a wild twist, with Ben Affleck stirring up reconciliation rumors with his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. Since his split from J.Lo, Ben and Jen Garner have been spending a lot of time together, and insiders claim that Jen Garner has already ended her long-term relationship with Jon Miller, hoping to rekindle things with Ben. But guess who's not taking this well? Yep, J.Lo. Word has it that she's absolutely livid about Ben reconnecting with his ex and has been throwing some major shade at Jen Garner.
I'm happy. I have a great life. I'm a good person. I live in a good way, and you know what? I have great friends, and I can call somebody and go anywhere and do you know what I mean? Like those simple. I'm healthy.
Sources reveal that J.Lo was furious when she saw photos of Ben looking surprisingly happy and comfortable with Jen Garner. It's a stark contrast to how he seemed with J.Lo, often looking glum and barely cracking a smile on the red carpet.
It's a wedding, babe. He's in a wedding. It's a wedding. He's not going to give up his wedding.
Whose wedding?
Benny. It's a wedding he's in.
I want you to call him.
Thirsty is like somebody who's like, you know, when they put like pictures of themselves and they get on Instagram and they're always like posing, they're thirsty. They
like
want
you.
Here's the kicker. People close to J.Lo say she truly believed Ben would eventually come crawling back to her and never expected him to walk away from their relationship for good. The drama gets even juicier. The real tipping point for Ben Affleck might not just be his rocky relationship with J.Lo, it could be her rumored connection to the explosive Diddy scandal. Whispers from insiders suggest that during the March raids on Diddy's properties, federal agents uncovered incriminating tapes involving J.Lo. And here's where it gets spicy. Not long after those raids, Ben packed his bags and left the lavish mansion he shared with her.
They go raid Puffy's house, and they get all these videos of J.Lo doing this and J.Lo doing that. And they know the fact that J.Lo lied and said that the gun was Sean's or whatever, that man just prison destroyed his life, and she knew it was Puffy. I'm quite sure they probably called the FBI, gave respect. A courtesy call of Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they say, we want to show you some things. It's about your wife. When he sees that her and Puffy was doing and who they were doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave him those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they heading for divorce. Because, you know, that's a man who had a good life. Great parents, don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping out paparazzi. He's living his life. He got his own team. She done brought all the extra that motherfucker. He want out. He stayed married to J.Lo, he'd be broke. Instead of just doing movies, he'd be doing Yum Yum Donuts commercials. Next thing he'd be doing these Jack in the Box commercials.
But that's not all. Jennifer Garner reportedly played a key role in Ben's quick exit. Known for fiercely protecting her kids, she was allegedly concerned about the fallout from J.Lo's potential entanglement in the Diddy drama and how it could impact their family. It's no secret that Garner has always prioritized shielding her children from scandal, and this situation might have been the final straw.
You can, in the morning, you can either be making breakfast for your kids, making their lunch boxes, or you can be getting paparazzi ready. And so, you know, I know which way I'm gonna go.
Now, the million-dollar question is, what's J.Lo's next move if she ends up entangled in the Diddy trial? It's a ticking time bomb, and everyone's watching to see how she handles the fallout. Is that the real reason J.Lo is so furious?
And my way of surviving was by working more and doing more and hiding that side of myself.
Ben Affleck seems completely unbothered and has been spending all his time with Jennifer Garner instead. Let's break it down. This Thanksgiving marked the first one since Bennifer 2.0 called it quits, and Ben appeared totally at peace with the change. He spent the holiday with Jennifer Garner and their 3 kids, volunteering at the Midnight Mission in downtown LA, a wholesome family moment to say the least. Meanwhile, J.Lo spent Thanksgiving in a much lonelier spotlight, posting solo photos on Instagram. She even limited the comments, likely bracing herself for questions about Ben or the Diddy situation.
It was the biggest heartbreak of my life, and I honestly felt like I was gonna die.
It's a sharp contrast to Ben, who seemed extra cozy with Garner during their holiday outing. Paparazzi captured moments of him looking completely at ease, even leaning in to whisper something to her at one point. The real kicker? A source made a cryptic remark to people about how Ben is now very happy with life. If J.Lo was hoping for signs of regret or longing from Ben, this isn't it. Looks like the Bennifer chapter might be well and truly closed. And J.Lo isn't thrilled about the narrative shifting in Jen Garner's favor. It's becoming clearer why Ben Affleck seems so content these days. His bond with Jennifer Garner runs deep, and their time together has been a source of comfort. According to an insider speaking with Page 6, Ben feels blessed to spend Thanksgiving with the mother of his kids. Despite their divorce, their connection hasn't faded, and Ben values the history they share, especially as co-parents. Fans have long noticed that Ben seems genuinely happy with Jen Garner, even with paparazzi constantly intruding on their lives. Ben himself once admitted that divorcing Jen was his biggest regret.
Affleck's addiction to alcohol sent him to rehab for the 3rd time and put a strain on his personal life. In 2018, he was seen in this photo being driven to a treatment facility by his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. The 47-year-old calls his divorce from the actress, quote, "the biggest regret of my life."
A decision clouded by his struggles with addiction at the time. But now, with sobriety offering him clarity, the streets are buzzing that Ben might be feeling nostalgic about their marriage. Meanwhile, sources say Jen has never fully stopped caring about Ben. Despite their past challenges, she's always had a soft spot for him.
How do they feel at this point?
My eldest is grateful.
Wow.
See,
and
you
we'll
just gotta
see.
be in the long haul.
Though.
I mean, it's a long haul. I have a couple more to go, so just knock on wood. We'll see if I really hang in there.
And it's not hard to see why they're so at ease around each other. Ben recently shared that he feels comfortable with Jen because they both value a low-key life and are fiercely private. With all this time they've been spending together lately, who knows where things might lead? Rebuilding a bond like theirs could spark a new chapter, one that fans have secretly been rooting for all along. On the flip side, J.Lo thrives in the spotlight, which might have been a key factor in her and Ben Affleck's split. Even Ben himself hinted at this dynamic in J.Lo's documentary.
The thing you discover, like you do with alcohol, is that there isn't enough alcohol in all the liquor stores in the world to fill up that thing. And in Jennifer's case, I don't think there's enough followers or movies or records or any of the stuff to still that part of you that still feels a longing and a pain. Ultimately, that's the work that you've got to do on your own.
Comparing her obsession with attention to his former addiction to alcohol. Ouch. Insiders have also spilled that Ben grew frustrated with how J.Lo constantly shared details of their marriage with the public. It felt like she was more concerned with projecting the perfect image of their relationship rather than putting in the work to make it genuinely strong behind the scenes. What's ironic is that you'd think J.Lo would have learned from their first go-around in 2004. Their original engagement fell apart largely because of the intense media frenzy, something J.Lo later admitted left her heartbroken. She's even called it the biggest heartbreak of her life. So when Bennifer 2.0 rekindled their romance in 2021, fans thought they were finally getting their fairy tale ending. J.Lo herself gushed about how she knew Ben was the one, and that this time it was for keeps.
When I was reunited with the love of my life, and we decided we were going to be together forever.
But clearly, the same issues that once tore them apart, media obsession and conflicting priorities, have come back to haunt their relationship. While J.Lo dreamed of forever, Ben might have been looking for something a little more real and a little less performative. If J.Lo knew that media attention played a big role in her breakup with Ben the first time around, it does make you wonder why she'd go ahead and make a documentary spilling all the intimate details of their relationship. It's almost as if the spotlight was more important to her than protecting what they had.
Don't drink. You don't drink at all? You just drink?
No, I'm not a drinker. I just never started. It was another one of those things my mom just never, was like,
this is what
don't drink, don't do drugs, you're gonna die. I'm like, okay. It's like in my head.
Ben's comparison of her craving for attention to his struggles with alcohol feels brutally honest, and maybe even accurate. Meanwhile, Ben's inner circle seems to be rallying around the idea of him moving on for good. Reports suggest his friends are encouraging him to forget about J.Lo and give his relationship with Jennifer Garner another chance. And speaking of Jen Garner, her longtime partner Jon Miller may have already thrown in the towel on their relationship, reportedly because of Ben's reappearance in her life. According to insiders, Jon found it intimidating that Jen and Ben are still so close, a bond that seems unshakable, especially with their shared history and kids. But Jon isn't the only one who's unhappy about this rekindled connection. J.Lo is reportedly furious over Ben's recent actions, especially since he's out in public with Garner, looking content and openly saying he's finally happy. For someone as image-conscious as J.Lo, that's got to sting, especially considering she's left fielding the fallout while Ben seems to be finding peace with his past. Here's the real kicker. Last year, when rumors about Ben and J.Lo's marriage troubles first started, word got out that J.Lo might have been trying to mess with Jennifer Garner's parenting. Supposedly, J.Lo couldn't handle how well Ben and Jen still got along, so things got petty. Reports said J.Lo's team ran to the tabloids, criticizing Jen's strict parenting style and claiming Ben and Jen's kids liked being with J.Lo more than their mom. The reason? J.Lo was allegedly playing the fun stepmom role, letting the kids do whatever they wanted and ignoring Jen's rules completely. Even though Jen tried to stay cordial and give J.Lo the benefit of the doubt, it became clear that J.Lo's actions were making it impossible for them to stay on good terms. Let's not forget how hard Jennifer Garner worked to shield her and Ben's kids from the paparazzi, who were constantly lurking, hoping to catch Ben at rock bottom. Jen wasn't chasing the spotlight. She focused on protecting her kids from Hollywood chaos. But J.Lo, reportedly unhappy about Jen still being in the picture, allegedly began undermining Jen's parenting. At the same time, Jen grew increasingly frustrated with J.Lo's attention-seeking ways. Sources even claim Jen worried that J.Lo's narcissistic tendencies could negatively influence her kids. Garner has always been vocal about keeping her children out of the public eye. She's a firm believer in setting clear boundaries and rules, a mindset rooted in her own upbringing with strict parents. Jennifer Garner has often credited her strict upbringing for helping her stay grounded in Hollywood. In contrast, J.Lo has admitted she struggles with setting boundaries for her 2 kids with Mark Anthony. So when Jen Garner's 3 children started spending more time with J.Lo and Ben, Jen reportedly became concerned that J.Lo's influence clashed with her own parenting style. She even feared that J.Lo might be trying to turn her kids against her, undermining the values and boundaries she'd worked so hard to instill. Now, with rumors swirling about Jen Garner and Ben reconnecting, insiders say J.Lo is fuming with jealousy and plotting her next move. And here's the jaw-dropper. Sources claim J.Lo is now eyeing financial payback from Ben and targeting his $150 million fortune in what could become a messy fallout. An insider close to J.Lo just dropped some serious tea, claiming she feels entitled to compensation because she covered most of the bills during her brief marriage to Ben. According to the source, J.Lo confided to Radar Online that one of the lesser-known truths about their relationship is that she footed the bill for much of their lavish lifestyle, from private jet flights to luxury hotels, designer clothes, fancy meals, coffee runs, and even gas. It all reportedly came out of her pocket. The source also revealed that J.Lo paid the majority share for the $60 million mansion they bought together. After their rumored split following just 2 years of marriage, J.Lo allegedly started reflecting on how much Ben leaned on her financially. Now, she's convinced she's owed compensation for everything she invested in their life together. J.Lo is reportedly demanding a full breakdown of every dollar she spent versus what Ben contributed during their marriage, and she wants her money back. According to an insider, she feels betrayed and burned, blaming Ben for walking away from the relationship. The source claimed if he had stayed in the marriage like a good boy, she wouldn't have minded, but he abandoned her, and Jennifer always gets payback. Now, J.Lo is allegedly ready to go all in, playing hardball to make him pay. However, other sources suggest her quest for revenge might not actually be about money. Instead, it's said that J.Lo feels humiliated by Ben's reconnection with Jennifer Garner and is looking for any way to make him regret it. But here's the twist. Some insiders believe this drama might also be a calculated PR move. They claim J.Lo could be using the Ben saga to divert attention from her ex, Diddy, and her rumored involvement in his ongoing criminal case. If that's true, her next move could be as much about strategy as it is about spite. Now, here's where things get really juicy. According to fresh reports, Jennifer Garner might have laid down the law with Ben Affleck, giving him a clear ultimatum. If he wanted any shot at rekindling their relationship, he had to cut ties with J.Lo completely and do it before the Diddy case hits the courtroom. Garner was reportedly concerned about how all that negative press could impact their kids. Let's be real though, Ben seemed checked out of his relationship with J.Lo for a while. He never looked thrilled, not even on on their wedding day. But if this theory holds, the whole Diddy scandal might have fast-tracked the breakup and pushed Ben to finally walk away. As for what's next, it's hard to ignore the buzz that some big revelations about J.Lo might come to light when the Diddy case unfolds. Could this be part of why Ben jumped ship so suddenly? Let me know your thoughts below. And don't forget to stick around for the next update. We're just scratching the surface on this drama.